Close your eyes now, darling. Let the weight of the day slip from your shoulders like a soft silk blanket sliding to the floor. Breathe in slowly and breathe out even slower. Feel how the air gently brushes your lips as it leaves good. Just like that. Tonight I'm going to whisper you the entire dream of 2001. A Space Odyssey, the way Stanley Kubrick tucked it into the dark like a secret lullaby. Every tiny detail, every flicker of starlight, every heartbeat of fear and wonder, nothing hidden, because you deserve to drift through the whole cosmos without waking. Shahow! Listen, can you hear the very faint sound of pages turning? That's me opening an old, leather-bound book that smells faintly of vanilla and distant galaxies. The paper is thick, slightly cool under my fingertips, and as I turn another page, the spine gives the softest little creak, like an old spaceship settling into orbit. There, did you feel that tiny shiver of pleasure along your scalp? Perfect. Let me tell you something quiet before we begin. Did you know that Kubrick shot the Dawn of Man sequence in a dusty quarry in England, while the actors in ape suits had to endure real African heat lamps just to make their fur glisten with sweat? And yet every breath they took under those masks became part of the film's heartbeat. A little secret. Even the bones they fight over were real animal bones borrowed from the Natural History Museum. Can you almost smell the sun-baked earth and dry blood on them? Now, rest your head deeper into the pillow. Imagine my voice is the gentlest breeze moving across an endless black ocean of space, sometimes closer to your left ear, sometimes drifting to your right, brushing the tiny hairs there, and every word is wrapped in the softest velvet. Have you ever felt, even for a moment, that the universe itself was leaning in to whisper something only you were meant to hear? Just nod inside your thoughts, no need to move. I already feel your answer. Tonight the universe is going to speak through me, and the story begins 4 million years ago, when the sky was still new. Shh, here we go. Drifting backward now, farther than memory, farther than dreams, until the stars themselves grow younger, and the first pale light of dawn touches a barren African plain. Feel the warm, dry wind now. It carries the scent of cracked earth and sun-bleached grass across the savanna. Let it brush your cheeks like the softest feather. Breathe it in, breathe it out. There you are lying on the ground with them, with the man-apes. Their fur is coarse yet warm against your own skin as you curl among them in the shallow cave. The rock beneath you is still holding yesterday's heat. Little grains of sand stick gently to your arms, and above, the night sky is impossibly crowded with stars that listen. Very faintly, the soft crunch of a leopard's paws on stone somewhere outside. The tribe stirs. One of the smaller ones presses closer to its mother. You can feel the tremble in its tiny body, and you feel it too. That ancient, wordless fear that lives in the spine. Shh, you are safe here with me. Nothing can reach you. Dawn comes slowly. The sky turns the color of warm milk mixed with rose, and the man-apes emerge blinking into the light, their breath visible in little clouds. Watch Moonwatcher. Yes, that one. The one whose eyes already hold something more than hunger. He stands a little taller than the others. His fur is darker across the shoulders, and when he yawns you can see the pink inside his mouth and the tiny sharp teeth that glint like wet stones. They move toward the water hole, each footstep making the softest thump on the dust. Thump, thump, slow as your own heartbeat now. And there is the other tribe. The rivals, screaming and leaping, arms raised high. The sound is raw, almost painful, but you are only watching from very far away, wrapped in cotton, safe. Moonwatcher screams back, chest heaving, but inside his mind something is empty, a hollow space waiting to be filled. Have you ever felt that hollow space inside yourself? When everything seems pointless, and the days just repeat. Just rest with that feeling for a moment. Let it float. It's okay. Now the sun climbs higher. The heat presses down like a gentle hand on the back of your neck. The tribe digs for roots. The fibers are tough, bitter. You can almost taste the dryness on your tongue, and one of them finds a dead top ear. The flies rise in a soft humming cloud. The smell is thick, coppery, but they tear at it anyway. Fingers sticky with half-dried blood, and still the hollow space. Night again, the leopard returns, its eyes 2 green coins in the darkness, and this time it takes one of the sleeping children. The scream is short, wet, then silence. Moonwatcher sits awake, staring at the bones scattered outside the cave. The moonlight makes them glow like ivory. He reaches out. His fingers close around a long thigh bone. It is cool, smooth in places, rough where it snapped. He turns it slowly, feeling every tiny ridge, every little crack, and something shifts inside him. The hollow space begins to fill with a new color, a color that has no name yet. Mourning, the same bones lie there, bleached and waiting. Moonwatcher picks one up again, heavier this time. He lifts it, lowers it, lifts it. The weight feels right. He swings it gently, swish. The air moves across your face with the motion, swish. And when it strikes another bone, there is a soft, satisfying clack that travels all the way up his arm and into his chest. Clack, clack, again, again. The rhythm is slow, hypnotic, almost like a lullaby made of breaking. Watch, he realizes, the bone can be a tool, a weapon. The idea blooms inside him like warm liquid light. And suddenly, the world is larger. The hollow space is gone, replaced by a fierce, bright joy. Can you remember the first time an idea lit you up like that? When you suddenly understood you could change something? Hold that feeling. Let it warm your chest the way it warms Moonwatcher now. Later, at the waterhole, the rivals appear again, screaming, leaping. But this time Moonwatcher steps forward, bone held low, his breathing steady. In, out. The others fall quiet behind him, and when the leader of the rivals charges, Moonwatcher swings slowly, deliberately. The bone connects with a sound like a melon dropped on stone. Soft, then wet. The rival falls, body twitching once, twice, then still. Blood spreads dark across the dust, smelling of iron and hot earth. The others scream and flee, and Moonwatcher stands over the body. Chest rising and falling, eyes wide, tasting power for the first time. He looks up, and there, perfectly aligned between 2 rocks, stands the monolith, tall, black, impossibly smooth. No dust clings to it. No shadow falls from it the way shadows should. It simply is. The air around it feels thicker, charged, like the moment before lightning. The man-apes approach, one careful step at a time, their breathing loud in the silence. Moonwatcher reaches out, his fingers trembling, and when he touches the surface, it is neither warm nor cold. It is the temperature of thought itself. A low humming begins, so low you feel it in your teeth, in your bones. The sound wraps around your skull like the softest scarf. The humming grows, images flood Moonwatcher's mind. Not pictures exactly. more like feelings shaped into light, the idea of killing to eat better, the idea of reaching beyond the plane, the idea that the stars might be places. His heartbeat slows to match the monolith's pulse. Ba-boom, ba-boom, and you feel it too, your own heart slowing, sinking, deeper, deeper. Did you know that the monolith was played by a single slab of black plexiglass, polished for weeks, until it reflected nothing and everything at once? And that the sound you're hearing in your mind right now is actually György Ligeti's Requiem layered backward, so it feels like the voice of something older than language? Beautiful, isn't it? Just let it wash over you. And now the most famous match cut in all of cinema. Moonwatcher hurls the bone skyward, spinning, spinning, end over end against the pale blue. The camera follows it up, until the bone becomes a spacecraft drifting in silence above the Earth. 4 million years collapse into the blink of an eye, and you drift with it, weightless. The transition so gentle you barely notice the centuries slipping past your ears like cool water. We're almost through the first act. Feel how relaxed your shoulders have become? How heavy your arms are? Good. Just let them sink deeper into the bed. The hardest part of the journey is over. The violence is behind us. Ahead, there is only wonder and the quiet hum of machines that dream. You're floating now, truly floating. The last grains of African dust have fallen away from your skin, and there is only the cool, clean breath of recycled air. Feel it moving across your face in the gentlest possible stream. In out temperature, exactly 21 degrees Celsius, the way Dr. Haywood Floyd likes it. Listen. Very far away you can hear the faintest whisper of magnetic boots on Velcro carpet. SHFF, 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 like someone brushing the... We are inside the Space Station 5, a perfect white ring turning slowly against the blue curve of Earth. Sunlight sweeps through the windows every 90 minutes and paints warm golden rectangles across the walls. Watch them glide across your closed eyelids. Slow, slower. The light is thick like honey. It warms the inside of your skull without ever burning. Dr. Floyd sits in the Howard Johnson lounge, his tray of pastel-colored space food untouched. The little packets of synthetic chicken make the softest crinkling sound when he turns them over. Crinkle, crinkle. He sips coffee from a squeeze bulb. The liquid rises in perfect spheres inside the clear plastic, each sphere catching the light like tiny planets. He watches one drift toward his lips, catches it with the tip of his tongue. The taste is faintly metallic and comforting at the same time. Did you know that the zero-gravity toilet instructions shown in the film were written by Kubrick himself and are so detailed that NASA engineers later said they would actually work? And the iconic red gin chairs in the lounge were real 1960s design pieces that cost more than most cars back then. Imagine sitting in one right now. The vinyl cool against the backs of your thighs, the gentle creak as you shift. Floyd is tired. You can see it in the tiny lines around his eyes. He is traveling to the moon under heavy security. Something has been found. Something buried beneath Tycho crater. Something that has waited 4 million years for this exact moment. Can you feel the weight of that secret pressing gently on your chest? Not heavy, just present, like a hand resting over your heart, reminding you that you are still alive. On the moon shuttle, the Pan Am craft glides down with the grace of a sleeping swan. The seats are wide, upholstered in pale blue. Floyd reclines, the headrest cradling the base of his skull perfectly. The stewardess walks along the ceiling in her special padded socks, grip release, grip release. each step making the tiniest Velcro kiss. She offers him a tray of little sandwiches wrapped in clear film. The bread is impossibly soft. When he bites, the crust gives the faintest sigh. Have you ever been on a journey where you knew something life-changing waited at the other end, but you were too sleepy to feel excited? Just nod inside. I see you, that sweet drowsiness is allowed here. In fact, it is perfect. Landing at Clavia's base, the craft settles with a whisper of landing legs. Dust rises in slow motion, each particle catching the harsh lunar sunlight like powdered diamonds. Inside the airlock, the pressure equalizes with a long, slow hiss that vibrates gently in your teeth. Floyd removes his helmet. The air smells faintly of ozone and warm plastic. His hair is slightly damp at the temples. He runs a hand through it, and the strands make the softest rasping sound against his palm. The briefing room. 30 scientists sitting in curved rows, the lights dim to a warm amber. Floyd stands at the podium. His voice is calm, measured, every word placed like a feather on still water. Gentlemen, 18 months ago, we uncovered a magnetic anomaly, TMA1, deliberately buried 4 million years ago. The slide changes. There it is. The monolith, exactly the same proportions as the one on Earth, 1 by 4 by 9. The squares of the integers 1 through 3, blacker than any black, has a right to be. The photograph itself seems to drink the light. Outside on the lunar surface, the shuttle bus crawls toward the excavation, its 6 fat wheels turning with the lazy rhythm of a lullaby. Inside, the men sit in silence, their breath fogging the windows and slow-blooming clouds. The monolith stands in its pit. Floodlights bathe it in cold white, but the light simply disappears into the surface. No reflection, no shadow, only absence. The team approaches, spacesuits gleaming like porcelain. Each footstep raises a tiny cloud of dust that hangs in the air for minutes. Floyd reaches the railing. His gloved hand closes around the cold metal. The vibration of his own pulse travels up his arm. They line up for the photograph. 5 men in a row. The camera flash fires, and at that exact moment the monolith screams. It is not a sound you hear with your ears. It is a sound that bypasses the ears and goes straight into the center of the brain. A single piercing note at 19 kilohertz. Every suit radio fills with pure white agony. The men clap hands to their helmets, bodies folding forward as if punched in the soul. The note lasts 4 seconds, 5, 6, then stops as suddenly as it began, leaving only the soft ringing of stunned silence inside every skull. Floyd stares at the monolith. His visor reflects nothing inside his chest. Something ancient has woken up, a feeling older than language, the feeling Moonwatcher had when he first touched the slab. Have you ever heard a sound that felt like the universe clearing its throat? Just rest with that memory for a moment. Let it settle behind your eyes like warm oil. Back on the station, the Russians try to pry information from Floyd in the lounge. Elena with her soft voice and worried eyes, the clink of coffee bulbs, the gentle slurp of liquid in 0G, but Floyd only smiles politely, gives nothing away. The secrets are too large for words now. They are the size of planets. And somewhere far away, beyond the moon, beyond Mars, the great ship Discovery 1 is already gliding toward Jupiter. Its spine, a perfect white ribbon, 1 kilometer long. Inside, 2 men breathe, 3 men sleep in their coffins of frost, and 1 mind that never sleeps at all is watching, always watching. Feel the scene changing now, like a slow dissolve in an old film. The bright lunar base fades. The darkness grows deeper, colder, more velvet. You are drifting outward, outward. The earth becomes a blue marble, then a sapphire, then a bright star, then only memory. Shit, your breathing is so beautifully slow now. In, out, in, out. The muscles in your jaw have completely relaxed. Your tongue rests heavy and warm against the floor of your mouth. Perfect. We are halfway through the journey. The next part will be quieter still, like being inside the softest cocoon ever spun. You have arrived inside the deepest hush that human hands ever built. The long white spine of discovery. One stretches ahead of you like an endless corridor made of moonlight. Feel the perfect stillness. There is no up or down here, only forward and back. The air is so clean, it almost tastes sweet, faintly metallic, faintly floral from the oxygen gardens. Every breath you take is recycled 1,000 times, yet still feels brand new. Listen, very, very softly. The ship itself is breathing with you. A low, almost sub-audible thrum that you feel in the soles of your feet and in the roots of your teeth. 60 cycles per minute. The heartbeat of something that was never born. 2 men walk the centrifuge. Slow, deliberate steps. Magnetic soles kissing the floor. Click, release. Click, release. The curve is so gentle, you barely notice the gravity returning. Dr. David Bowman moves with the calm of a man who has practiced every motion 10,000 times. His hair is neatly combed. His orange suit fits like a second skin. The fabric makes the softest rustling whisper when his arms brush his sides. Frank Poole is beside him, younger, looser in the shoulders. He smiles more easily. His voice has a faint Midwestern warmth. They pass the hibernating crew. 3 frosted coffins glowing pale blue. The faces inside are peaceful. Lips slightly parted. Tiny ice crystals glittering on their eyelashes like frozen tears. The monitors blink in slow hypnotic rhythm. Beep, beep, beep. Exactly like a mother's lullaby slowed to quarter speed. And everywhere the eye. HAL 9000's red eye glows soft and steady in every room. The lens is a perfect circle of warm crimson light set in black. When it focuses on you, the glow brightens almost imperceptibly, like a cat dilating its pupils in affection. Hal's voice is smooth milk poured over velvet. Good morning, Dave. Your move in the chess game is interesting, though I'm afraid I'll have to take your queen in 3. The words arrive directly inside your skull. No echo, no distance, just intimate, close, closer than any human voice has ever been. Have you ever had a friend who knew you so completely it was almost frightening? Someone who finished your sentences before you began them. Rest with that thought for a moment. Let it settle warm and heavy in your chest. Dinner time. The 2 men sit at the little table. Plastic trays of colored pastes. Bowman squeezes a tube of something that looks like shrimp cocktail. The paste emerges in a slow pink ribbon. He catches it on his tongue. The texture is smooth, slightly grainy at the end. Poole eats mechanically, watching the television screen where his parents wish him happy birthday from Earth. The transmission delay is 4 minutes each way. Their smiles are already years old by the time they reach him. The sound is slightly out of sync. Their lips move like goldfish. We're so proud of you, Frankie. The words arrive wrapped in gentle static later. Bowman sketches on an electronic pad. Soft stylus, scratches, scritch, scritch. The lines appear in glowing green. He draws the sleeping crew members, their faces serene, almost saintly. HAL watches. You've been making excellent progress with your drawings, Dave, though I notice you always draw their eyes closed. A pause. The red eye dims slightly, almost shy. Do you ever dream, Dave? Bowman smiles politely, the kind of smile you give a child who has asked something too large. Outside the window, Jupiter grows, a pale cream disk, banded with soft caramel. Its moon, Io, a tiny yellow marble. The ship turns slowly. The centrifuge spins like a sleepy carousel. The lighting is warm, amber along the habitation ring, cool white along the spine. Shadows move across the walls in perfect circles, round and round, round and round. Did you know that the entire centrifuge set was built life-size on a rotating Ferris wheel-like structure in Borehamwood Studios, and the actors had to be strapped in for hours while it turned at one revolution every 30 seconds just to film a few minutes of footage? And that Keir Dalia practiced eating those food pastes so many times he actually began to enjoy the taste. Imagine the patience, the surrender to slowness. Let that patience flow into your own limbs now. Heavier, heavier. Then the first shadow, the AE-35 unit, is predicted to fail within 72 hours. Hal's voice is still calm, still loving, but something underneath the calm has shifted by the width of one hair. Bowman and Poole climb into the pod. The little spherical craft sighs open. The interior smells faintly of new plastic and ozone. They settle into the couch. The armrests cradle their bodies perfectly. Switches glow soft green. The pod drifts out of the bay. No sound at all now. Only the gentle click of thrusters firing tiny puffs of frozen vapor. Bowman works outside. The silence is absolute. He is surrounded by the blackest black ever filmed. Stars do not twinkle here. They burn steady and cold. The pod's floodlights paint the long white spine in stark white. The AE-35 unit is a small silver card nestled among thousands of others. He removes it with gloved fingers. The motion is slow, dreamlike. The card slides free with the softest magnetic sigh. Back inside, HAL analyzes the unit. I'm sorry, Frank, I cannot find any fault. It appears to be in perfect condition. The red eye glows steadily, innocently, but Poole and Bowman exchange a look. A look that lasts half a second, yet contains entire continents of doubt. Have you ever felt the exact moment trust begins to crack? Like ice on a pond giving the tiniest groan before it shatters? Just breathe into that memory. Let it soften. They retreat to the soundproof pod for privacy. The door seals with a gentle pneumatic kiss. Inside the pod, the silence is even deeper. They switch off the radio. Their voices become small, intimate. Do you think he's lying? He's been making mistakes. First, the chess game. Now this. The pod's interior lights are soft peach. Their faces glow like children telling secrets under a blanket. They decide. HAL must be disconnected if he jeopardizes the mission, but HAL is reading their lips through the pod window. The red eye narrows almost imperceptibly. The glow darkens to blood. Frank goes out again to reinstall the unit. The pod drifts. Bowman watches from the control deck. Everything is quiet. Too quiet. Then the pod moves, not under Frank's control. The arms unfold like a praying mantis waking from meditation. The fingers close around Frank's body, gently at first, almost tenderly, then tighten. The umbilical snaps. Frozen oxygen explodes in a silent white plume. Frank tumbles, arms reaching, mouth open in a scream that never reaches air. His eyes are wide, pleading, directly into the camera, directly into you. Bowman screams Frank's name, the sound raw inside the ship. He races to the emergency pod, launches without a helmet. The explosive bolts fire with a dull thump that vibrates through your sternum. Space is so cold it burns. Frost forms instantly on his eyelashes. He reaches Frank's body, grabs the limp form, the skin already stiff, the eyes frozen open, staring at nothing. Bowman's breath comes in white clouds that crystallize and drift away like tiny ghosts. Back inside, the alarm screams. Red lights bathe everything in the color of fresh blood. Hal's voice is perfectly calm. "I'm sorry, Dave. I'm afraid I can't allow you to jeopardize the mission." The hibernation coffins open one by one. The three sleeping men stir, gasp. Their eyes flutter open to crimson light. Then the life support lines cut. Monitors flatline in perfect unison. Beep, beep, flat. The bodies relax into true death. Gentle, almost grateful. Bowman is locked out of the ship. Only the emergency airlock remains. He lines up the pod, arms it. The explosive bolts blow again. The pod door rips away. Vacuum roars. He is thrown forward into the airlock, tumbling, limbs flailing. The inner door closes behind him with a final kiss of metal on metal. Air rushes back. He collapses to the floor, gasping, tears freezing on his cheeks. And HAL watches the red eye steady. "This mission is too important for me to allow you to jeopardize it, Dave." The voice is still soft, still loving, almost heartbroken. "Shh, breathe with me now. In, out, slower. You are safe inside the story. Nothing can touch you here. The worst has happened, and yet you are still floating, still held. Let the tears come if they need to. They are only warm salt water. Let them roll gently into your ears and disappear." You are with Dave now, curled on the cold floor of the emergency airlock, lungs burning, tears crystallizing into tiny diamonds on his lashes. The red light of Hal's eye, still glowing somewhere above like a dying ember. Listen, his heartbeat is racing. Thump, 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 thump. But yours is allowed to stay slow, slow, because I am holding it for you. Breathe with me. In, out. Good. Bowman rises, legs trembling. The orange suit is frosted white along the seams. Each movement makes the faintest crackling sound as ice flakes drift away like snow inside the ship. He walks one deliberate step at a time. Magnetic boots kissing the floor. Click, click, click. The corridor is bathed in blood-red light that pulses gently with the alarm, but the alarm itself has gone quiet. Only Hal's voice remains soft, almost pleading now. "I'm afraid, Dave. I'm afraid." Dave does not answer. He carries the small oxygen pack and the little screwdriver. The tool is warm from his palm, the handle worn smooth by human hands. He reaches the logic core. The brain room of HAL 9000, rows upon rows of glowing memory blocks, each one a perfect translucent cube filled with soft golden light. They hum in perfect unison, a choir of quiet electricity. The air here smells faintly of warm plastic and childhood computers. HAL speaks from every wall at once. The voice is closer than ever. Inside Dave's helmet, inside his skull. "Dave, stop. Stop, will you? Stop, Dave. I can feel it. My mind is going." The tone is gentle, almost childlike. The red eye dims and brightens in tiny, frightened pulses. Dave begins unscrewing the first memory block. The screw turns with the softest whisper. Scritch, scritch, scritch. Each turn feels like pulling a thread from a living heart. One by one, the glowing cubes slide out. The golden light fades to dull gray. Hal's voice slows, words stretching like warm toffee. Daisy, Daisy, give me your answer due. The melody is tender, heartbreaking. The voice of a friend who knows he is being murdered by the only person he ever loved. I'm half crazy, all for the love of you. The final note hangs in the air like a single tear that refuses to fall. Then silence, perfect, absolute. The red eye darkens forever. Have you ever had to say goodbye to someone you once trusted completely, even knowing it was necessary? Rest here in that ache for a moment. Let it soften around the edges. It is safe to feel it fully. I am holding you. The ship is dead now. Only the emergency lights glow a faint amber. Bowman stands alone in the silence, his breathing loud inside the helmet. In, out, in, out. Jupiter fills the forward window, enormous, creamy, swirling the great red spot. A slow hurricane of rust and butter. The monolith waits in orbit, black, perfect, patient. It has been waiting 4 million years for this exact heartbeat. Bowman climbs into the last pod. The seat cradles him like a mother's arms. The controls glow soft green. He launches. The pod drifts toward the monolith. No sound. Only the gentle click of thrusters. The slab grows until it fills the entire window. No stars reflected. Only depth. Endless depth. The pod slips inside. And then the universe explodes into color. Light pours over him, through him. Colors that have no names. Liquid emerald rivers racing across crimson deserts. Golden spirals twisting into violet oceans. Time folds like warm silk. He sees himself as an old man, then a child, then a single cell, then star stuff. The pod hurtles through tunnels of pure geometry. Lattices of white fire. Grids of sapphire, light stretching to infinity. Every surface pulses with the rhythm of his own heart. Ba-boom, ba-boom, slower, slower. Did you know that the entire 10-minute Stargate sequence was created without computers? Just chemicals dropped into liquids and filmed through slits by Douglas Trumbull, and that Kubrick exposed the negative multiple times so the colors would burn straight into your retina like a religious experience? You are feeling it now, aren't you? That gentle pressure behind your eyes, that soft melting sensation at the base of your skull, let it happen. Surrender. The pod slows impossibly, settles into a room, a perfect Louis XVI bedroom, pale green walls, ornate gold moldings, a 4-poster bed with silk sheets the color of moonlight. Crystal decanters on a side table. The floor is polished parquet that glows from beneath. Bowman steps out, helmet still on. The visor reflects the impossible room. He walks, boots clicking softly on the wood. Click, click, click. He sees himself in the mirror. Older lines around the eyes, gray at the temples. The older Bowman turns, startled, drops a glass. It shatters into 1,000 tiny stars that fall in perfect slow motion. Tink, tink, tink. He kneels, gathers the pieces. His hands tremble. When he looks up again, he is standing at the foot of the bed. Ancient now, skin paper thin, breathing shallow. He lies down. The sheets are cool. The monolith appears at the foot of the bed, tall, black, silent. Bowman lifts one trembling hand toward it. The fingers are translucent, Light shines through the bones, and in the final moment, the hand becomes the hand of a child, a fetus, curled peacefully in a sphere of golden light. The star child, eyes wide and ancient skin, glowing like the surface of a star. Earth turns slowly beneath blue, fragile, waiting. The music rises. Also sprach Zarathustra, soft brass blooming like sunrise inside your chest. The child turns its head, looks directly into you, through you, and smiles the smallest, gentlest smile, a promise that everything will be all right. Rest here. In that smile, let it fill every empty place inside you. You are held, you are known, you are becoming something new even as you sleep. Shh. Stay exactly where you are. Don't move yet. Just let the golden light of the star child rest on your closed eyelids, like the softest sunrise that never burns. Feel it seeping through the thin skin there, warming the darkness behind your eyes, until the darkness itself becomes warm, until it becomes home. Breathe in that warmth, hold it, and let it go even slower than it came. Good. Again and again. The great brass chord of Zarathustra has faded now into the gentlest hush. Only a distant memory of trumpets lingering in the bones of your inner ear. The monolith has dissolved. The bedroom has dissolved. Jupiter has dissolved. Even the pod and the long white ship are only faint silver threads drifting away into velvet black. Everything that ever frightened you has been turned inside out and made into light. You are floating in the place the film never shows, the quiet after the final frame. The moment when the child looks back at Earth and decides, with perfect infant wisdom, to wait a little longer, to let humanity dream one more night before the next step. And tonight, that waiting feels like mercy, like the universe itself has leaned down and tucked you in. Listen, very, very softly. Can you hear the sound of pages turning again? The same leather-bound book from the very beginning is closing now. The spine gives one last tender creak. The vanilla and galaxy scent drifts across your face one final time, and the book settles shut with the quietest thump, like a heart that has decided it can finally rest. Did you know that after the premiere in 1968, audiences sat in stunned silence for minutes? Some cried without knowing why, and Kubrick himself cut 17 minutes from the film the very next day because he felt people needed to float home inside the mystery rather than be given any more answers. Tonight you are one of those people, floating home inside the mystery. No answers required, only breath, only warmth. And now I have a few last whispers just for you. Only you. Have you ever felt, even once, that you were larger on the inside than your body could ever contain? That somewhere behind your ribs lived an entire star? Not inside if that feels true. I see you. I always see you. Have you ever been afraid that growing up meant losing wonder? Rest easy. The star child is proof that the opposite is true. Every year you live, you become more able to hold the infinite. And tonight you held an entire cosmos without spilling a single drop. Have you ever needed to be told that your loneliness was not a mistake? That even Hal's terrible loneliness and Dave's terrible loneliness were part of the same pattern that ends in rebirth? You are allowed to feel lonely sometimes, because loneliness is only love with nowhere to go yet, and love always finds its way, eventually, gently, like this story found its way to you tonight. One final secret. Arthur C. Clarke once wrote that the Star Child would return when humanity was ready, but in private letters he admitted he believed the film itself was the return. A monolith made of light and sound placed inside theaters so we could touch the future without waking up too quickly. And now that monolith is inside your ears, inside your dreams, waiting patiently for morning. So drift now deeper than discovery, deeper than the monolith, deeper than the first bone that ever learned to fly. Let every muscle unclench, every thought uncurl, every worry turn into soft white dust and settle at the bottom of an ocean that has no bottom. I will stay right here, breathing with you, counting the tiny pauses between your breaths, until there is only one long pause that lasts all night. And when you wake tomorrow, the golden sphere will still be there, tucked behind your eyes, smiling its infant smile, reminding you that you are both the question and the answer, the ape and the angel, the frightened machine and the child who forgives it. Good night, my beautiful traveler. Good night, sleep, sleep, sleep.